What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA Network Plus N10-007 certification. So let's get into it. In this video, you're going to learn about the troubleshooting methodology, where you will learn how to identify a problem, establish a theory of probable cause, test the theory to determine the cause, establish a plan of action to resolve the problem, and identify potential effects, implement the solution or escalate as necessary, verify full system functionality, and if applicable, implement preventative measures, and finally, document your findings, lessons learned, actions, and outcomes. First step is identifying the problem. So the first thing you need to be aware of when troubleshooting a problem is understanding that the symptoms are not the problem. The actual problem is what's causing the symptoms to manifest. And to identify the problems, you will use the following as needed. You want to gather information. You want to duplicate the problem if possible. You want to question users. You want to identify symptoms. You want to determine if anything has changed. And then you want to approach multiple problems individually. Step 2, you want to establish a theory of probable cause. So once you think you successfully research solutions and identify potential issues that may be causing the problem, it is now time for you to establish a theory of probable cause by doing the following. First thing you want to do, you want to question the obvious. So sometimes the solution to a problem could be something very simple that just goes unnoticed, and you want to consider multiple approaches. So a rule you should abide by is the KISS rule, or the keep it simple, stupid rule. Sometimes there are multiple approaches to solving a problem, but it is best to go with the simplest and most easy to implement during your approach. Also, you want to think about solving the problem in terms of moving top to bottom or bottom to top within the OSI model. And then you want to divide and conquer. Sometimes problems arise that may deal with components and their various subsystems. Dividing and conquering allows for you to fix problems in a systematic manner. So step 3, you want to test the theory to determine the cause. So once you believe you have established probable cause, it is now time to test the theory to determine that cause. This can include things like checking to make sure the correct IP addresses, subnet masks, and default gateways have been assigned to an end device in order to verify that the end device is able to reach the correct default gateway. If the theory is confirmed, then it's time to resolve that problem. If you come to the conclusion that the theory is incorrect, the next thing you should do is develop a new theory and then test that theory. Next step, you want to establish a plan of action to resolve the problem and identify potential effects. So once you have identified the problem and discovered a solution, it's now time to establish a plan of action to resolve the problem and identify the potential effects. And if time permits, you should document your action plan. The documentation of your action plan could be used as a backup plan if your hypothesis is incorrect. Next step, you want to implement the solution or escalate as necessary. So if you are responsible for implementing the plan of action, you need to follow it carefully. Be sure to note any problems with the plan or any additional problems you observe. If you are not responsible for implementing the plan of action, you need to escalate it to the department that is responsible for solving the problem. Next, you want to verify full system functionality and, if applicable, implement preventative measures. So once you have implemented the solution, the next step is to check to make sure that the system or network is fully functional as it is supposed to be, with all of the original symptoms gone. Also, attempt to determine whether your action plan has caused any other issues on the network, and if they have, you need to go back and solve those problems so that system or network can be fully functional. And then finally, you want to document your findings, actions, and outcomes. So when it comes to problems arising in IT, more than likely you are going to encounter similar problems over and over again. Instead of approaching each problem as if it's the first time you've seen the problem, the best approach is to document your findings, lessons learned, actions, and outcomes from each problem you have solved so that you can build a repository of solutions for future problems you are bound to encounter again in the future. Also, be sure to add any figures such as screen captures, diagrams, photos, etc. that will help you or others solve similar problems next time. Remember, detailed documentation is your friend when it comes to solving problems in IT. All right, that was my quick little class on network troubleshooting methodology. So let's go ahead and get to some of this outstanding check on learning. So the first question is, identifying the symptoms is a part of which troubleshooting step? Is it step 2, establishing a theory of probable cause? Step 3, testing the theory? Step 1, identifying the problem? Or step 5, implementing the solution or escalating it? So identifying symptoms, this is a part of which troubleshooting step? And the correct answer is, this would fall up under step 1, identifying the problem. Remember, symptoms are not the problem. Symptoms are a manifestation of the problem. Next question. Building a repository of solutions is a part of which troubleshooting step? Would it be step 2, establishing a theory of probable cause? Step 7, documenting your findings, actions, and outcomes? Step 6, verifying full system functionality and implementing preventative measures? Or step 4, establishing a plan of action to resolve the problem? So building a repository of solutions is a part of which troubleshooting step? And the correct answer is, that will be step 7, documenting your findings, actions, and outcomes. So remember, proper documentation is your friend in IT. It will help you solve problems very quickly because chances are you're going to come across the same problems over and over and over again. Next question. Applying the keep it simple, stupid strategy is a part of which troubleshooting step? Would this be step 1, identifying the problem? Step 2, establishing a theory of probable cause? Step 3, testing the theory to determine the cause? Or step 4, establishing a plan of action to resolve the problem? So applying the KISS strategy is a part of which troubleshooting step? The correct answer is, this will be part of step 2, establishing a theory of probable cause. Remember, keep it simple, stupid is basically an acronym that tells you just to look for the easiest and simplest explanation as to why something may have went wrong, because 9 times out of 10, that is going to be what has caused your problem. So in summary, we have talked about the troubleshooting methodology where you learned how to identify a problem, establish a theory of probable cause, test the theory to determine the cause, establish a plan of action to resolve the problem and identify potential effects, implement the solution or escalate as necessary, verify full system functionality, and if applicable, implement preventative measures, and finally, documenting your findings, lessons learned, actions, and outcomes. Now, if you felt like you've gotten something valuable out of this information, go ahead and hit the like button, share button, drop a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Also, go check out my website, Technology G, so that you can get read up on the latest and greatest to help you successfully pass the CompTIA Network Plus N10-007 certification. And until next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.